Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
bye.
so much, Sue. And
Bye. Thank
now
you.
we just say hi to Amelie, who is on the room. Is in the room. Oops, Amelie.
Uh,
Eh,
It is nighttime here. Today.
yes. What hour is what time are what
It
time
is
is it?
12 in the evening now here, but it's okay.
Oh, 12
I-
p.m.
Yes, 12 p.m.
Oh, oy. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
but
very
it's
late.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, okay. I
I'm
will.
happy to be here.
Yes, me too. Me too. Uh, Oh, you were
I wish
waiting
I
so long. No, all day. You've been all day long here in the cars. Thank you, Emily.
I wish I can go to Latin America someday because when I travel here, I always meet people who told me I come from Latin America.
Yeah, here in Peru, you know that I am here in Peru. Yeah, so you must visit me, pass over here some moment. So, yeah, we're friends.
Yes, I hope one day I can have a chance
Sure,
to visit
sure,
your country
sure. Oh,
and some places in Latin America.
okay. I will do your a little presentation. A ver, un momento, I will check it out. Where is your? Aquí está. Okay. Amelie Laro is a social worker, educator, researcher, and gender advocate who has traveled extensively through the Philippines and has been a delegate to Kazakhstan, Canada, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, South Korea, the United States, and Germany for her work on gender and women's issues. She specializes in issues concerning women and girls, as well as refuge and internal displacement. She's a Community Solutions Fellow through the U.S. Department of State and National Gender Trainer through the Korean Institute for Gender Equality Promotion and Education, and a fellow at the International Sustainable Academy in Hamburg, Germany. For her project Teach for Gender Equality, she previously founded the Advocacy in Women's Education and Empowerment Project, a capacity building leadership development project for young women social work students and professionals in the Philippines, Davao region. In 2019, she began the social work program at the Southern Philippines Agribusiness, Marine, and Aquatic School of Technology. She is frequently invited to give presentation as a resource person on gender responsive case management, gender sensitive handling violence against women, and creating safe space. She is Amelie Lara.
Hello, muchas gracias. Is it
Ah,
muchas gracias or is it what do you call this?
it's okay.
Noche? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Yes, because
Still, we are in afternoon, eh?
okay. So buenos dias still in your country, yes?
Buenas tardes.
Tardes,
Buenas
buenas
tardes.
tardes. So here is buenas noche.
Ay, sí, porque
Okay.
Amelie está a las 12 de la noche. She's at 12 p.m. right now.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go.
So I am thankful for this opportunity to share this piece of work I have written way back 2 years ago. It is now online, available online. You can check this online if you want to read the full paper. I wrote this with my professor from the University of Southeastern Philippines, Professor Moses Torrentera. Excuse me. So he was an expert on environment. And out of the course, I took an environmental management course. And he asked me to write a paper that will link my work as a social worker with the environment. So I got interested in green social work, on eco social work. Sometimes they call it an eco social work or green social work. And I thought about how this will be practiced in my country. And so I link it with the context of protected areas in the Philippines. And then hopefully the study will provide an input to the curriculum development in the Philippine social work practice, because we do not have yet a lot of integration of social work, green social work in the Philippines. So it's also a new practice area in my country. So it's ironic that I presented this paper in Europe last year. Last year in International Federation of Social Work, and also in your conference now, in the global conference. But I've never presented this yet in the Philippines because I did not have yet the chance to present it. I did some presentations, but not related to this topic, because as I've said, this is a new topic in the Philippines. Usually they ask me to talk about green social, gender equality, and something other related practice. But I started my advocacy on green social work practice when just to give you a brief background, when I started the social work program in the Southern Philippines, Agribusiness, Marine, and Aquatic School of Social Work. I started the social work program in 2019, and so I have a course in green social work practice. So this is actually a pioneering work. And so the course runs up to now. It's in 5 years, and some schools of social work also got interested to learn how to do the course. So they invited me to have some talk about the green social work practice, and so the work of this paper is mostly integrated to that different talks I have in some schools who in which invited me to present. So I hope some schools in Latin America or interested to do some green social work practice will can also learn from this presentation. So, my talk is actually first, I will talk about concepts related to protected area from a global perspective in the Philippines. The concept of protected area is not only in the Philippines, it is a global discussion. And then I will talk about green social work practice a little, because I think there are several presenters today in the morning and also prior to this presentation who also discussed the concept itself. And I will dwell more on the conclusions and implications for curriculum development of the green social work practice. So what I did here in this paper is a rigorous literature review. It's a qualitative study which involves a review about the green social work practice across the globe and also about protected areas in the Philippines. And then, so this is just like the methodology I presented here, and I will not dwell more, but it's more on reading a lot of articles, journals published related to these two important topics, which are green social work practice and protected areas. So when we think about protected areas of the world, we need to understand the concepts and the definition of protected area and how the globally it is understood, and also how it is understood in the context of the Philippines. So the global definition of protected area means that it's a clearly defined geographical space, recognized, dedicated, and managed through legal or other effective means to achieve a long-term conservation of nature with associated ecosystem, services, and cultural values. And when we speak of that, these keywords will always remind us, because we are not environmentalists, so we need to be aware the importance of protected areas in the context of the use of space, and how it is being recognized as protected areas, and how much effort is dedicated to it, and how it is managed, and what are the legal mandates related to protected areas. So I go more on discussion on the importance of the protected areas. It is very important and significant tools on how we conserve for biological diversity, and we should care for crucial. It is caring for this protected areas is crucial for sustainable development. So across the world, there are strategies given on how they protect their protected areas and they identified it clearly, and we know that protected areas have so many environmental benefits and also promote economic sources. So there are necessary objectives to meet when we say that there is a protected areas that we have to meet based on the Convention of Biological Diversity, as mandated. So I go more on the technical side of that. As I've said, I'm not an environmentalist, so I wrote this with a professor who is more um, expert in environment. But this is the consideration when we think in a layman's term how these protected areas had been managed. So these are the six management categories. So when we think about for scientific purposes, this is strict nature reserve. So in some countries, I think especially in European countries, they are very strict with their nature reserve, and there are clear distinctions of what are those areas that are nature reserve. And they also identified wilderness areas, national park, national monument, habitat species, for management areas, protected landscape, and protected areas with sustainable use or natural resource. So there are so many other considerations here that when we look into the environment, we need to identify so many things that requires conservation or that requires sustainable use of natural resource. So these things may not be a concern of a layman's person because we do not study more protected areas. But when we tend to focus on it, we tend to understand that there are several division of protected areas. So then I go to the benefits of protected area to humankind. I already mentioned earlier that it's critical tool to conserve biodiversity. It is essential to assuring healthy communities. It is essential to life that we protect our protected areas, and as well as critical to the many people on earth, especially the indigenous groups. My interest on this is actually inspired by a lot of indigenous groups who are enrolled also in our program. And since our college is located in mountain areas, and we have so many indigenous groups, and so many of them also needs a protection of their ancestral domains, as we so-called in the Philippines. Another is the Earth species is a product of the million of years of evolution. And for example, the corals in the Philippines, as you can see in the photo, these are product of several years. And these protected areas act as life buffers and economic engines. So uh, protected areas is part actually of the global conservation, and it is part of the sustainable development goals. So you can see the different sustainable goals here. There are many goals which are related to protected areas management and conservation. So in the Philippines, it is essential because we are one of the major biodiverse hotspots in the world. If you visit the Philippines, you can see so many endemic species, and it has a lot of biodiversity. You can see here the Philippine eagle. It's a monkey-eating eagle, only found in the Philippines. And we have the tarsiers, a very small animal that you can also find in the Philippines, and several kinds of small fishes that which can only be found in the Philippines, and also the coral reefs. So understanding the concept of it is really crucial to our students, to the educators, and to the practitioners as well. So what happened here is that I tend to look into how policies for protected areas was conducted in the Philippines. So we have a policy in 1987 by the Department of Environment and Natural Resource, which looked into Philippine strategy for sustainable development. But if you look into the gap from 1987, a new policy was created in 1992, which took more than 5 years to look into another policy, which is called the National Integrated Protected Area System, or NEPA's Act of 1992, which is called a landmark piece of policy for environment. This is one of the sole policy before until it was expanded in 2018, which is called the Expanded National Integrated Protected Area System, which is signed by President Duterte in 2018. The importance of this policy is that it identified additional 100 protected areas. So you can see here some examples of in our map, we are 1,107 islands. And you can see that there are several areas here wherein we can find several species which should be protected, and the areas should also be considered a protected areas. So this is a highly somehow technical if you are not focused on this policy. But what I'm trying to point out here in this paper is that there's a limited what they call these policies that look into the protected areas in the Philippines. So then after that, I look into the definition of green social work and how it is connected with the context of protected area. So when we understand green social work, we know that it's an emerging approach in social work practice, focus more on ecological social work. We know that social workers focus more on individual groups and communities, but not on the physical environment. And the focus of green social work is moving towards the importance of the environment and how it affects the humans and their behavior. And it's more on looking to the macro to micro level. So ecological social work emphasizes significance of humanity and nature at the center of the education and practice of the social work curriculum. So many other definitions here, but if you tend to just analyze all of this, it is encouraging social workers to look beyond the individuals problems and concerns, but look at the environment and how the environment itself contributed to the problems of the individuals in terms of the use of space, in terms of using the environment, destruction of the environment, disaster, for example. I am reflecting on this context because I have a lot of exposure working with the disaster areas in the Philippines. I did some work related to protection support for disaster area way back in 2013 when we are hit by the typhoon Haiyan, and it cost 13,000 people to who died because of the disaster. And then we have so many disasters which are can be an indication that we do not have a good environment that will protect us, aside from the fact that we do not have a good programs that will help us during disaster times. So the importance of understanding the green social work is making me also understand like the role of social workers in helping the communities to promote environmental protection so that it is can help also the communities in times of disaster. So green social workers have to address structural social inequalities. They need to look into the problems of mining practices, especially those mining practices which are not following the standards of mining. And green social work is also a new paradigm or a paradigm shift in itself in addressing social problems, as well as in dealing with the negative consequences brought about by the environment, by the industrial society of mass consumption. There was a time in the Philippines that there is toxic wastes brought by first world countries to us, and it is kind of like making the Philippines like a garbage area for first world countries, and it is a concern on how the country itself could address that problem. So we have so many other environmental problems in the Philippines that I think can only be solved if we use green social work practice as a lens. So green social work points of view receives holistic, environmental friendly, and it is even transdisciplinary, relational, and political in itself. We have to understand that social workers should not only work with the person in environment, but also look into the environmental practices or the socioeconomic political settings which the humans are living, or the humans, as Domenelli mentioned, that this environment causes the human problems. And so our advocacy should not only be related to helping the individuals or helping their problems to be solved. But more than that, we also look into how this environment can sustain them to for them to live a long life or a quality of life. So now I move into the that kind of realization, reading to so many journals, lead me to make an assessment that the intervention of social work in the Philippines is so generalist in itself, but it lacked a framework on how to look at the clients on an macro perspective. And even there is no integration of environmental practice of social work. Social workers then must play an active role in the protection of the ecosystem, which can be a source of livelihood. For instance, what you can see in the photo is an indigenous group in the Philippines. It can be found in my island, Mindanao. We have three major islands in the Philippines: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And in Mindanao, we have so many tribes as well. Mostly in the Philippines, there are many tribes, but in the Mindanao, we have so many tribes, and we allow them to showcase their indigenous practices during what we so call the Kadayawan Festival, or the Festival of the Harvest. Now, aside from that celebration of dances, of culture, and so many other things, it is important that social workers also need to realize how this group of individuals can be protected, or be stewards of environmental protection, because they are the one close to the environment, or they live close to the environment. So interventions towards the problems of individual can also be more addressed by looking into green social work as a practice, not just the generalist framework or what we have learned as social workers. Commonly in social work in the Philippines, we use a clinical setting sometimes. We use working with cases, group work, and community organization. But we do not have much lens on how we look into environmental protection or sustainability, or so many other concepts in environment that can help our clients. And that is what I am trying to dissect here, or to inculcate here, that we should do something or change our paradigm. We say paradigm shift in our practice. So now I will move on to conclusions and implications for curriculum development. If you are interested to read more about that part, you can find the full paper in the research gate. So my conclusions into this paper is that there's a need for applying green social work practice lens in improving the conditions. Specifically, I'm talking about the protected areas, because we have so many protected areas which no longer can be considered protected areas, because some of them are hit by a disaster, or some of them are into mining. Some corporations have mining practices in those areas, so we need to look into that condition. And this is actually a practice. Green social work practice is a good way, because I wrote this after COVID-19. So this is part of building a better world for after COVID-19, a new strategy after COVID-19. And we need to realize that problems in the natural environment can mean problems more to people. If we do not protect the environment or the source of our food security, then we might as well suffer the same thing. It is interesting for me because I've traveled so much, mostly across some other countries. Specifically, I travel mostly in Europe, and I saw that in Europe, they use a lot of their spaces for green practice. I mean, green living. They have green spaces. They use it, and their people have protected it. But in a country which is supposed to be tropical, and we do not have winter, we do not have such kind of consciousness sometimes. There's a need for us to uh, reflect more on our environmental management in environmental practices. Because, for example, in some cities in the Philippines, talking most specifically more Manila, it is very polluted, and you can see that the problems of pollution really causes problems on health, and of course, causes the problems of health will also cause problems of livelihood, and so on and so forth. So so many things to reflect on, that the problems in environment really and clearly affected the human psychosocial functioning. So another conclusion and implication of this paper is that to think that environmental problems and challenges requires a transdisciplinary and multi-stakeholder approach, and that social workers cannot do this alone. And I am talking about here the importance of working with other professionals, that social workers need to have more knowledge of environmental protection and gain knowledge from other professionals because we have limited knowledge about environment. And there's a need for more information drive about expansion of the Integrated Protection Act law for NIPAS or the NIPAS Act and the level of participation and engagement to address the problems with protected areas. And hopefully, there will be integration of topics about protected areas in the Philippine curriculum of social work, specifically about green social work practice. And hopefully, it will prepare future social workers for their role, which include their participation in the protected area and ecosystem management. For this, I'm talking about in some countries, not the Philippines. I have met, when I was working in Kazakhstan, some social workers who are working as social workers in the environment, or the ecosystem manager, as they so called, which is I think interesting for social workers' role to be added to so many roles of a social worker. And I think it is more applicable in the Philippines, knowing that we have so many areas that need an ecosystem management or ecosystem manager. So furthermore, I move on to hopefully we can create a core group of teachers, educators who will teach about protected areas in the state colleges and green social work practice. And hopefully I can collaborate more with the National Association of Social Work, which is the primary arm of social work education in the Philippines. Since this is just a new idea, and I am happy that some schools started to be interested with the topic. And so I have some alliance and a core group building. So I started working with some of them. And hopefully there will be collaboration with higher educational institutions and Department of Social Welfare and Department of Environment and the Department of Education and state colleges and universities with the National Association of Social Work to discuss about the importance of this topic towards biodiversity in the Philippines. And finally, I am thinking about integrating green social work practice in the ethical social work practice in the Philippines, because our ethical practice right now, the ethics we're talking about is more on working with colleagues, working with clients, but we do not consider that social workers are important also, or they play important, significant roles in sustainable development goals and protecting the environment. So these are like things still in the pipeline. They are still moving. For me, I always say that in this kind of work, this is a pioneering work for me. And so when I talk about this, I think I still need to talk more about it to some people and even engage more with them, how it is really in practice. But I'm happy that some people are interested to learn or to know about the topic, and I know that since these are seeds of ideas, so these are not uh, will not stay in me alone, that I have to share it, and some people can build from it and they can move forward or do something about these ideas. And I believe that there are more people who are in position to do more the ideas that are written in here, because these are just concepts from the review that I took during this paper. So yeah, these are things. Hopefully, I am sharing it to you, and thank you so much. And so you can read the full paper. It is in ResearchGate. These are some of the things that I took talk about. Maybe I did not fully explain all of the technical side. You can read it in the paper that I wrote with Dr. Moises Torrentera. So thank you so much. So that will be all my presentation, and thank you for inviting me into this forum. I am glad to share and be of service to social workers, not only from my country but across the globe. So we say in the Philippines, normally the most important Filipino word is mabuhay, which is long live. So long live Kapa. Thank you. I am done.
Yes. Thank you, Amelie. As always, it's very interesting to hear you. And now we use this topic, no? Last year was another one. Each
Yes.
you surprise us.
It is gender equality last time, and yeah, this one is another for the environment.
Yes. And you touch many things that is real, no? It's happening in many countries. In my country, as I was telling to Sue in the last panel, that the nature is just reducing, no, and the communities too, no, because it's their house, it's their land, their house, no, and the communities, the people who protect those areas, but but are um, forced to leave, no,
True. Yes.
the lands and all these things. And it's important not to value the cultures. No, in Peru we have many dialects on
Mm-hmm.
our forest. We have many indigenous communities.
Yes, globally it is really a problem. And when I was here last June, I attended the Eco Social Work in Rotterdam. Rotterdam Applied Sciences, they pioneered green social work practice in Rotterdam. And if you can see how they work with communities and helping communities gain money from the environment, or they are more sustainable in terms of livelihood, it's very interesting. My reflection is that first world countries, they took care much of their environment, but countries which are supposed to take care of their environment, I mean, they didn't do not have such consciousness, and it's, for me, it's quite sad because we have a beautiful country. The thing is, we do not have such consciousness. So some of our islands, which are not inhabited yet, you have supposed to be protected, and we should be more proactive on what we need to do. And this is quite problematic because we have so many indigenous people, and some of them are uneducated, and they're also not aware that they can get a lot of resource from the environment. So social workers usually work with the indigenous people in my country, but it's not more, the consciousness is not more on green social work. It's still more on looking at the problem side. They are more looking into the what do you call this, the person with a problem, but not on looking into a level wherein there is an environment that can help the individual or can sustain the individual, like in terms of livelihood. If the environment is good, it can be a good area for ecotourism. It can be a source of livelihood. So it's just really challenging how this put into practice. And as I've said, so many social workers still boxed on that clinical or the old style of practice. So this is still something that we need to discuss, because this is a paradigm shift for them. It may not be yet interesting for them, and change is sometimes difficult for people to manage. So it may take some time to subside. What are these concepts? How can I say, to internalize, for them to internalize the importance of it.
Yes. Well, in my country, protect an area as we have is a lot of budget, o sea, a big budget, no, and sometimes we don't have, and our borders are not so good, so the people just cross. And we, we had many illegal activities on border, and
Yes.
the disaster, I think, is more in Brazil than Peru.
Well, we have more disasters too. Like in our country, like we always have typhoon, we have earthquake, and I think because the environment is very vulnerable, if it will
Yes.
hit by a typhoon, it's easy that it will landslide or some other after post effects after the typhoon. So it's crucial, and yeah, it's kind of like a big work to do, and a lot of people are involved, and some values that needs to be changed, and these are
Yes.
very challenging
We
time.
need a lot. And and what do you think will be the role or the function of a social worker on this situation?
Yeah, so I am talking more of like putting the green social work idea or practice in the curriculum. So from the time they are in the, which we started in Southern Philippines school, agribusiness. My school has a long name, Southern Philippines SPAMAS, we say SPAMAS. We started that in a curriculum in that school because we are state college, so we can develop our own subject. So this is actually a new subject that we taught in that college, and I am sharing the idea with other state colleges in the Philippines that they may also have their own subject like this, which is more focusing on preparing social workers on helping their clients to understand the importance of the environment and look into several environmental practices and policies and their assessment, which is very interesting. When I taught these subjects already for 3 times because I started it, I asked my students to go to communities and track or research about environmental practices, or to look into the different areas which need environmental protection. So we have a lot of collected so many videos or so many research topics about the problems in environment, and they themselves reflected that there is a need to help the community understand about environmental protection like that, and actually that is only the base of their practice, because the topic green social work is connected to other practice like project management. When we do they make projects, it is more related to environment sustainability, and then when they do the training, it's also related to environment. So it's kind of like how can I say, interesting subject that they go through. But since I just started it, so for me, I am also interested to conduct a research on the impact of it, of the subject itself, to the students who will practice it in the future, because that is a different thing. But teaching the subject itself is something that makes me feel like I did a little in this world. Like I did something to help our environment, because the environment does not speak for itself. Like it cannot speak, it cannot speak anything for itself. So it's the humans who will be speaking about the context of the environment. So that's how I see it. And some of our students with that kind of consciousness, they are also more proactive and also helping us in our advocacy. So I am happy to see that as a development of what we started in that college, and some schools and universities in the Philippines which in it are interested to learn. So I also talk about the topic in the Philippines about this, and so I'm happy to see that it's building up a little, although few steps, but more people are gaining more knowledge and appreciation of what can we do. Yeah.
Tell me, this curriculum, are you talking me about the courses on the curriculum at the university or at
Yes.
schools too?
In the university. It is in the university. We taught this in the university.
I
Green Social Work
In
101.
which year? Starting at the ending or is elective?
It is an elective course. We have it in the second year. It's an
Ah,
elective
yeah, that's
subject.
so cool. This so nice.
Yeah.
I would like apply to this course. Is possible, please? I'd like to have this.
But it is for those who are enrolled in our college. But maybe we can have a training like green social work, something like that. Yes, it is a available course. But because the thing is our college is we do not have yet online courses for outside. So that is why. But that is why I'm interested. I told you before when I have a first talk with you that I like pioneering work, like trailblazing work. So that makes me interested in it. And because this one is first pioneered by Dominelli and I think Rotterdam also, and later other, so it's more popular in the Europe. Actually, green social work, eco social is more popular in Europe than ASEAN countries. I don't know in your country, but in our country it's not yet as popular, and in
Well,
that's why I said.
you know that it's not popular, but I think that it's so important, you know. O sea que we don't have this course, and I know how in how big is the problem in the Amazon, and we don't have social workers in doing practice in Amazonia. I seen many Brazilians social workers, but Peruvian I haven't seen yet. No,
Yeah, it is interesting.
the methodology that you said, there is, yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we just started it. It's only a 3 units course. We offer that course, Green Social Work, as an elective. We also offer disaster management in social work because we have a law in the Philippines on disaster management, which really requires social workers to work with disaster. But
Which kind
I
of disaster?
all like we have floods, earthquake,
We have
even
here in Lima, most of them is earthquakes. No, not now, not so much, but any moment don't could ever happen. So we need
yeah,
to be.
we are like in the ring of fire. So like Indonesia, so we are in the ring of fire. So we are usually affected by earthquake. So yeah, this is the partner, like a partner course, because we can appreciate more the green social work when we understand that there is disaster. So these are the three courses when I started the program that I pioneered in that school, to like elective and also gender and social work. So that's why I said I like trailblazing.
Look, here we have comments. Sandra is from Portugal. That is here. She say, unlike the speakers, but in Portugal it's time to sleep. Así que, I'm leaving. Thank you all, especially Carolina and Cava. See you
Yeah.
tomorrow. And this today was so rich for sharing hugs from Portugal. And Leslie say interesting uh, subject presentation that the contamination is a world problem. The social workers should get involved more on this subject.
Yeah.
Hugs to Philippines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. The people agree, no, that is a really is a big problem that is affecting to our climate, to this global warming too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to do, but that's why for me I said it's we just started the seeds because there's so many things we need to do, and we cannot do it alone. So
Carla Pereira from Portugal say see you tomorrow because they are going to bed to
yeah, we have
sleep.
the same time here. Like also I told you it's already night time here.
Oh, really, really? Yes, you're right. You're very.
But it's okay.
Oh, you
I
should
I, I
very tired because you are all day long here with me, accompanying
No,
me
no,
practically.
it's okay. It's okay. I still have some energy, so energy reserve.
A ver, let's see. A ver, Leslie, any question? ¿Alguna pregunta más? Leslie, Carla, ¿alguna pregunta para Amelie? Bueno, el comentario estuvo muy bien, sí. Vamos a ver en YouTube. En YouTube, ¿qué dice? No, a ver. Es un poco tarde aquí. Sí, pues ya it's a bit late, say Carla.
It's okay. It's okay. Understood.
Well, Amelie. Um, este, thank you so much. What I can say, yeah, is extraordinary. All day long, you being with listening all the speakers, no?
Yeah, trying to find something new from the speakers today. So I open it because yeah, I am trying, and I'm glad that I connected to some of the presenters. So
Yes.
yeah, I make most of the learning time.
Yeah, because each of one has a little thing that you speak just now, no? It's like increase your knowledge also. We'll continue, Carla. But it is wonderful the way we march all over the world. This is social work. Thank you, Carla. Thank you. Well,
Thank you.
our next case is Bernard, but Bernard, I had a record of him because we had um, uh, a session and I record him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to put his video and I would like that you tell me if it's possible that we saw him. A ver, vamos a ver.
Okay, thank you. So good
Sí,
night.